Good evening, viewers. This is Aisha Ali, and you're watching Reconnecting Youth with Aisha. I'm bringing you this show so we can talk about sports, lifestyle, politics, and education, and reconnect youth. Hi, welcome back to Reconnecting Youth with Aisha. This is your host Aisha Ali. Right now I'm standing at the Pakistani Embassy located in Washington, D.C. We're here with Dr. Rao Ali, and we're going to talk to him about the business individuals meeting that took place in the embassy today. Can you tell us a little bit about the event?
Thank you so much, Aisha, and thank you so much, Asim, for having me here. First of all, I want to welcome our Foreign Minister, Shah Mahmood Qureshi Saab. He came, and our Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Ali Jahangir Siddiqui. He has done a good job for the community. So this was a great gathering. Overall, the most important thing is to listen to community, and this is really. Shah Mahmood Qureshi Saab, he has been foreign minister before, so he knows that what community wants. So their voice has been recognized after a long time. And in the past there was no foreign minister, or there was foreign minister for a very short period of time. So community has a lot of concerns. And we live here, but our hearts are in Pakistan. Whenever it comes to donations, every Ramadan, every zakat, what we do, we send our zakat there. Okay. Whenever it comes to fundraising, anything, our hearts, they are always with that, because we're going to do it for the Pakistan. Obviously, we do a lot for America as well. But in return, when it comes to investment, Pakistani diaspora here, they have a lot of questions. And to a little bit extent, there is irritability that, when we go there, there's no check and balance, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of red ribbon here and there. So this is why I think this is the best thing done by this government, to have this meeting. And the people from the business community, they're here, and they're very happy that their issues are at least recognized.
So did they talk about any initiatives the government in Pakistan is going to take to make sure that those concerns are addressed?
Yes, of course. They are having, there will be more talks about that, and then they will categorize the issues. So what is first issue, what is second, what is third? And then they will tackle those issues in a chronological order.
So what is an issue that you came into the meeting with in thinking in your mind, and did they have like a solution for it? Did they have an answer? Did they have like a plan on how it can be solved?
So my issue was, I'm a physician, but I'm an investor as well. So like when Gaza started, I had a meeting with Ambassador Jalani. I said, we want to actually build a city, not a small portion. We just need guarantee. You just tell us that we go, we submit money, submit farms, we give money, and then they say, okay, you got that 100 acres. And after new government comes, and then we come to know actually it was all fraud. And where is our money? Nowhere, right? So we asked Mr. Jalani that we need some guarantee. Is there any way that we get guarantee from establishment? I know establishment is like a little bit difficult to talk when there is a elected government, but somehow we have more trust in establishment, because we know governments they come and they go, but the establishment stays. So we could not get any answer, and here now we are not able to invest there, because there's no trust.
Yeah. Yeah. So does that change your perspective about investing in Pakistan now? Do you feel more comfortable or confident that through this process, what they're saying, and if they take these steps required, that it will make it better? And when you think of investing in Pakistan, you'll feel like that my money is safe, and then it's not just going down the drain.
Actually, with Imran Khan, I am very confident. The thing is this corruption starts from the top, okay? When I know something happens and I can approach to certain people, and if they can't solve, then I can approach Imran Khan. He's approachable. Yeah. He is different. So I am sure that not only me, but my countrymen, they would love to invest now.
Thank you for speaking to us today. It was nice seeing you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I'm here with Dr. Chaudhary today, and he was also present at the meeting, so let's talk to him about what he thought, on his thoughts about the meeting today. So you were also present at the meeting. What were some questions and concerns that you came into with the meeting? Were they addressed, and what are your just general thoughts on how it went?
Assalamu alaikum. It's a pleasure to be with you today. the meeting actually went very well. When I came in, my thought process was that the foreign minister is going to be distant, which was not true. He was very engaging with everybody. He was open to an open discussion. He was more interested in developing solutions rather than people talking about issues. He was apolitical. He clearly stated that he is now representing the government of Pakistan, not PTI, which was a very refreshing thing for me. And his message, apart from what he said in front of the public, privately what he's told me is that he wants to engage every political party, every individual, whether it's in Pakistan or expatriates all over the world, to work for developing Pakistan, making Pakistan stronger and better. And I think that's a great message. And that message, he has told me, resonates from Imran Khan, the Prime Minister, which is, again, extremely refreshing. And my hope and wishes are that we follow this stream of thought and continue in this way to work united, because united, Pakistan can become a very strong nation. Divided, you have seen what happens to it.
So you said that it was more very discussion based, and he was very open to discussion. What are some questions or concerns that came up, and how did he address them? Did he have steps to take to reach a solution if there wasn't a solution already available?
So one of the most important things that he raised was that he's going to look at experts. He said that we have a major weakness. We do not have experts. There are experts all over United States and all over the world. And he wants to engage with those experts, whether it's finance, whether it's education, whether it's healthcare, or whatever discipline it is, to put them together and then get their assistance so that Pakistan can move forward. The other very, very critical question that was raised was that you are asking, and Imran Khan is asking for donations for the dams, and why not go and get the people that have absconded the money of Pakistan in overseas banks? And he clearly suggested that there is a commission, there is a committee or task force that is looking into it, and I hope that they continue to do the work to bring that wealth back to Pakistan. Another very critical thing that was, another criticism that he had literally was that, listen, you're talking about dams, but I think reservoirs are more important. And at that point he said, well, listen, if you think that's the solution to the problem, please provide us with your information. We will get in touch with you. We will put you in touch with the right people. We'll put you on the committee, and you can come and present your proposal to us and thought process and thought leadership to us. And if that's the right way to go, we will definitely do it.
So I'm standing here with Mr. Fasanos today. Let's hear his thoughts on the meeting that happened today at the Pakistan Embassy. So thank you for talking to us. And what do you think was the best part about today's meeting and the interactions that the Foreign Minister Qureshi had with the people?
Well, the best thing I liked about for Foreign Minister Qureshi was that he was very direct and very humble, and he explained a lot of things, and he was willing to take the criticism and also the input from the different people, and people were actually energized because of that. I like his speeches anyways, but I like the way he, in a very humble, in a very low tone, he explained things, how things are. And that is very important. There is a new energy because of the new government, and it always happens. If he's able to harness that energy, then it is success, and that is where the success will be measured. And I think they are positioning themselves well. They got the proposals from the people. Let's see what works out.
And then, so do you feel more comfortable and confident in investing in Pakistan, not just money-wise, but just ideas and expertise? Do you think not just you, but people who were present at the meeting, do you think they're more comfortable?
Yeah, I think that there is some sort of if I can use the word, is a newness. It's kind of a new way of looking at things, and if that. Is the openness, transparency, accountability is a very big part, which Pakistanis are very, very, very about, especially in America. So from that viewpoint, I'm definitely encouraged. Actually, we do have a business in Pakistan. We employ people in Pakistan, and we have, established things over here as well. So I'm encouraged to invest more and see that if they have really opened up markets for real estate deals or transferring of money and exchange, If those facilities are there, then definitely it will help. And a lot of these people who are here, they already have established links with Pakistan, and we can judge it within a year whether things are working out or not.
Did they mention about how they're going to provide accountability to the people who plan to invest?
I don't think they went through the whole plan, but there is a culture or environment of accountability that has come with the new government, and I hope they keep it up because people have a lot of expectations from them.
So too, thank you for speaking to us today.
Thank you, Aisha.
Shahzad Habib today at the Pakistan Embassy after the meeting. So before we talk to him about the meeting today that took place with Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Qureshi, let us get to know about him a little bit. Can you tell us?
Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. My name is Shahzad Habib. I am a Pakistani-American entrepreneur, and I focus and advise the U.S. government on social science issues, reaching from education, human services, and workforce, and have been doing so for the last decade. And beyond that, I've been an entrepreneur running worldwide businesses for commodity trading and in the retail space. Currently, I serve as a special advisor to Indus, and Indus is a think tank, US-based think tank, one of the few, or if not only, diaspora-run think tanks in the US that focuses on US-Pakistan relations from a policy academic perspective. We have three primary goals. One is US-Pakistan relations. Second is youth leadership and development, based on a peer-to-peer model connecting youth from the US to youth in Pakistan, and lastly, community integration in the US. So that's a little background context about myself, as well as the organization Indus that I represent as a special advisor.
So you seem to have a lot of expertise and experience in finances and like investments and economic systems as well. So what did you think about the meeting today? What do you think was the main purpose of the agenda, and was it addressed? Were there
I think it was a very good start in terms of getting the community engaged over here. I think Ambassador Siddiqui is someone that's part of his charter, so calling all these foreign delegates or the foreign minister shows that the current government is very much engaged to bring the community together in order to kind of drive their objectives. As far as ideas and how they went today, from what we could tell, there was a great desire from the community to participate in the process, to support the government to the best of their abilities. However, we do face some challenges. Beyond the community, we also need support from US organizations to participate. And the narrative that we hear from the State Department, at least from a policy perspective, is they always compare us with the Indian diaspora. They say the Indian diaspora is very highly engaged in their countries, which gives confidence to Indian companies or American companies to participate in business because of the fact that they see that Indian diaspora is engaged. On the flip side, they don't see similar engagement from the Pakistani diaspora. So how can you instill confidence in American companies to come to Pakistan when our own community is not participating as actively as they need to? So I think this is a good start to getting our diaspora to start participating from a business standpoint, trade standpoint in Pakistan, which therefore opens up the doors and sets the example of how US organizations can also join forces to do so.
Why do you think there's not enough involvement from the Pakistani side as compared to the Indian diaspora? You said that there's a huge difference. Why do you think that is? Because I know there are multiple reasons. What are some major reasons?
I think it's a great question. I think the top of mind thing that comes is obviously the fear of doing business in Pakistan, because many Pakistanis that have left Pakistan, the fear is based on the fact that they believe that doing business is hard in Pakistan, whether it's like import-export. That was an example that came up today, that trade policy is not favorable, that your product can get stuck in customs, for example. So there is a fear of doing so. There is employment laws issues. There is re-export law issues as well. So I think that those concerns are very much prevalent. There's also, when you talk about corruption, there's issue of bribe. Are we going to have to give bribe to do business in Pakistan? So those concerns are there. And when you talk about return on investment, many people that have left Pakistan to come here have come for better investments. So they need to be educated that they can get better return on investment for doing business in Pakistan and where the specific opportunities are. And I think the government is opening up various sectors that foreign investors can come in and participate and play a role.
So the agenda for today's meetings was not just to address the issues, but to also come up with a plan or steps that need to be taken. So what are some solutions that were presented or some ideas?
I think there were some numerous examples presented. Obviously, one that was came to mind was putting together a task force in the U.S. that can be a collaborated, coordinated effort. Because one of the challenges that the Pakistani diaspora faces is that they are fragmented as a community, which means that there is the ability to work together is missing as a group. So I think one big takeaway from today is that if forces are joined and the community is collaborated, they can work on a single narrative or a single agenda. I think whether it's brand building for Pakistan, which gives people, because there are many things that Pakistan is doing, however, the image is not so present. So I think the two major things, at least I took away, was that we can be a community that's joined by building a brand, as well as a community that has a single narrative, and as organizations, they can work together to promote this common goal.
So do you feel hopeful after today's meeting and all the discussions that took place with Foreign Minister?
Yes, absolutely. I feel very confident. I feel very comfortable, and we are all excited. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding. Nonetheless, I think hope is the key aspect to human development and human growth. So we are hopeful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking to us today and for sharing your ideas. So I'm sitting here with Mr. Chaudhary today. Can you please explain to us what are your thoughts about on the meeting that took place with Foreign Minister Mr. Qureshi today? What was the agenda about? Do you feel hopeful and with all the solutions that were presenting?
Well, the meeting was very useful. It highlighted some of the very key points, and that is to how to approach different areas concurrently, and forming some task forces for different people based on their expertise. And I think that is the best approach. But otherwise, if everybody is working on their own and making their own efforts to do whatever they want to do, it's not very productive. So I think making some task force in different areas, especially, for example, lobbying for Pakistan and changing the image of Pakistan in the U.S. media, especially, and among the think tanks, individuals who write articles about Pakistan. And you know that the Pakistan image is pretty negative at this time. And there is a severe need at this time to find those people who are a little more open to listening to Pakistan perspective and are a little more sympathetic towards Pakistan, because Pakistan has given a lot of sacrifices in the area, and especially the fight against terrorism. Despite all that contribution, Pakistan is still viewed as a terrorist harboring state, which is absolutely wrong. And when the Americans talk about Pakistan, all we hear about is, Pakistan is getting a lot of money from the U.S. and just not doing enough, and supporting Taliban in Afghanistan and providing safe havens to Taliban in Pakistan, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's wrong. But this is because of how the people in the USA view it based on what they hear and what they watch on the TV. And there is really a need at this time to change that image. And the only way to change that image is to get involved with a lot of people, including the reporters, editorial writers, op-ed writers, and newscasters, and so on.
So you talked about becoming involved, and a way of becoming involved is investing, and that just doesn't mean financially. It also means providing your services, your expertise, your ideas, coming to meetings like these so you can provide your point of view, so the government can see your point of view as well, and then give them your ideas. So why do you think? How do you think that's important?
Well, it's not really the money question, frankly, because money doesn't buy everything. It has some influence, but not everything. But people have to stay in touch with the people who write and shape the opinions. And most of those people are the newscaster, for example, okay, or the news editorials, the think tanks. Okay, so if you talk to them and give them the true perspective of Pakistan, and that could be based on individual basis, but I think if you make a collective effort, that's better. And when I say collective effort, it doesn't mean just the Pakistanis living in the United States. It has to have a backing from the the Pakistan government and the Pakistan Embassy and Pakistan consulates, so they know what is necessary, how to project Pakistani image, and how to make a real difference. And that can be done only when you get yourself engaged with the local people, and especially the local politicians and the member of the U.S. Congress.
So did you have any questions and concerns coming into the meeting that were resolved or answered? Or there was a plan given to you that's there will be steps taken to resolve them?
Yes, my suggestion was to engage the Pakistani living in the United States in some sort of a lobbying or PR firms. Okay, but what I mentioned was that it cannot be just the individual effort, because to engage with a lobbying firm or a PR firm requires a lot of resources. It's not just the money again. It is to have a coordination with them. And unless there is a backing, okay, from the Pakistan Embassy and the Pakistan government, it is very difficult. But when I raised this issue, then I think there was a positive response that they were going to form a task force that will address this issue.
So do you feel hopeful after today's interactions and discussions?
I think so. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for speaking to us today. Thanks. So I'm standing here with another Aisha at the Pakistan Embassy, where the discussion and interaction just took place with Foreign Minister Qureshi. So what are your thoughts on the meeting and the discussion that took place?
I think that this was a very necessary step, especially for the foreign minister to engage with the community here in the diaspora and ask for their assistance, be able to collaborate with them and speak on initiatives and actions that should be taken not only in Pakistan, but that can be taken by overseas Pakistanis. So it was a great interactive session where there was Q&A and engagement and suggestions and some solutions to certain problems. So I think it was definitely necessary to engage overseas Pakistanis from all over the United States of America and allow them in on the platform of communicating their thoughts over to them.
So was there a point where they addressed the youth of Pakistan overseas or like currently living in Pakistan, like how they can invest in the youth, not just like financially, like just like education, make more jobs available, because that's like something that's a concern in the country as well.
Yes, they did mention, Foreign Minister himself had stated that the youth is a cardinal aspect of not only the political party that brought them to power, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, but also currently 65% of Pakistan is the youth, and especially overseas, it's the contribution of the youth, our young minds that are coming together and providing them different solutions than to the ones they've been dealing with. So he did engage that the youth are very important, engaging on local governments, UC level, definitely bringing them positions so that they can participate in the dialogue. Youth will be an important factor in continuing this community effort, this overseas Pakistani effort forward.
So when you came into this meet to attend this meeting, did you have any questions and concerns, and were they answered? Like, if not answered, like given a solutions, like immediately, were there any steps given that this is how we're going to reach the solution to that problem or concern?
Yes, absolutely. One of the most important aspects which they addressed was the red tape of bureaucracy. I mean, we need a focal person in order to communicate our concerns over to, not just attending the embassies and meeting the professionals that are here, the high officials, but also being able to engage with them directly, with the correct ministries directly, so that we can actually feel like overseas Pakistanis have a voice. So being able to address that, the special assistant to the Prime Minister, he is the focal person for engaging on these conversations. That was definitely necessary and reassuring for the people of the United States of America.
And as youths, how can we help with that? Like, how can we help make Pakistan better, the economy and everything else?
Dialogue. We must communicate. We must speak with one another. We must engage with one another. We must share that Pakistan is not the stereotypical nation that they have portrayed the negative image of. It's actually a beautiful land that everyone is welcome to. We need to change the perspective of Pakistan first. And I believe that if the youth engage on this aspect of it, we'll be able to contribute economically, with education, with other resources collectively.
So after the interactions and engagement with the Foreign Minister Qureshi today with the investors and the community of Pakistan at the embassy, there was also a press conference held by Foreign Minister Qureshi where he addressed the questions of the journalists, and most of them were related to the relationship between the United States and Pakistan, and he addressed like how both countries are the effort is for the both countries to work collectively and collectively, jointly, and for the benefit of both of them, so that none of them is disadvantaged. He also talked about how he's open to dialogue, and Pakistan is open to dialogue and building and establishing relationships with other countries around the world, and if you take one step forward, Pakistan will take two steps forward, and that he's open to dialogue always, and that's what the Pakistan is all about. And then how we need to change the image of Pakistan, because it's always been shown negative, but then now we need to show the real Pakistan. He also addressed how Pakistan will always work for the benefit of Pakistan. He'll put the priority is for Pakistan to work for itself, to build its way up and make a mark in the world, because a lot of the sacrifices given by the country have not been recognized as much. So thank you for joining us today. This is your host signing off from Reconnecting Youth with Aisha.